The segment that nobody asked for. Who is Tina? Where did I grow up? I'm born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, baby. For those of you who don't know, I started in the car business and I spent about 7 years in the car business. I got fired for the first time in being in the car business for 7 years. Fitness and wellness has always been a part of my life. I decided to do personal training on the side. So long story short, I went to someone, told them my situation, said I wanted to start personal training, which I was certified to do, hooked me up with 3 clients and told me I was on my own after that. And when I started training people, I just realized how messed up people were and how they couldn't do basic things and how they couldn't do a squat without their back hurting or a lunge without knee pain. So I started to realize, like, okay, I gotta fix this. In order to get this person to do the exercise or the workout that I need, I gotta actually fix the situation that they're in as far as being in pain. So I started to do my own online stuff through YouTube and Google, and I started to incorporate it in the workouts, and my clients actually like that version of the workout as opposed to the actual exercises because they were becoming pain-free. Someone in the gym saw me working with someone and said, you're doing rehab, you're actually doing physical therapy. Have you ever considered going to school for rehab? I said, I don't even know what that is. So I went online, I did my research, and then talking about it with my friends, they were like, I think unemployment might pay for you to go back to school. You should check into that. So I looked, and they had a PTA program, which is physical therapist assistant, which is what I am. I'm not a massage therapist. I'm gonna keep on looking at the camera so you know. I did my research. I got set up with a counselor from unemployment. I was blessed. The lady was super, super nice to me. And she actually planned out my last 2 years of what the unemployment was gonna look like. So she like, we'll give you an extension, but year 3, you're on your own and you can't even work because you have to do clinical. So you have to figure out another means of income, if you're gonna have a family member help you with how you're gonna buy your books or provide for your kid at the time. When I looked into it, you have to actually take a test. You can't just change your major and say, I wanna do PT or PTA. You have to test into the program. And so I did, I got in, and the day that I got accepted and I had to drop off my paperwork was the day that I knew I found my purpose. It separates me from other professionals in my field. I feel like it's a combination of things. When people come to see me, it's an experience. I think I do my due diligence as far as educating myself as much as I can on the latest things, but it's not only about tissue or body work. I like to say I do a little bit of energy work because when you touch as much people as I touch, you do know that there's an exchange of energy. And I feel like I can cater pretty much, I'm like a chameleon. Whatever you need me to be at that given moment, I can be that for you. Whatever you need, whatever your session needs to be. If you just need to cry for an hour, which has happened for the whole session, I'm there for it. You know, if you need me to dig my elbow and get something out, I'm there for it. So I feel like what separates me is just a full experience, and that I have a lot of tools in my toolbox, but it's know when to use it and how to use it. How do I keep myself motivated? I think my clients keep me motivated. They motivate me to do better. They motivate me. I'm motivated to keep them pain-free. So I always want to know what's out there, what's the latest and greatest thing, what can I use? So I never want to have anybody lie on my table and then just wonder like, damn, I wish I would have taken that course, or damn, I wish I would have knew how to do this technique. So they motivate me. They motivate me to get up every morning, you know, and just, again, the gratification of giving somebody their life back or making them pain-free or less stress in their life. That's what motivates me. Who is my inspiration? My daughter. I think that's my greatest inspiration, just to be able to show her what entrepreneurship is, what a single mom can do, how you can be all things. Just to show her what a strong woman looks like and how to, you know, get through anything. What advice would I give my younger self? just it's gonna be all right, and it's on your time. You know, sometimes we compare ourselves to other people and just like, you know, I started school late. When I went to PTA school, I was in my 30s, you know, but that's my time. That's the time that was made for me. What scares me? It used to be failure, but I learned that failure is part of the process. So I think what scares me is just not being able to provide for my family. I think that's the thing I worry about the most. What would I change about myself? I don't know if I would change anything about myself. I mean, I am who I am. What is the biggest mistake I've ever made? I don't believe in mistakes. I think they're all lessons, and it's just pushing you in the right direction into where you need to be. So I don't really believe in mistakes. What does success look like to me? Just me taking care of my family. Generational wealth for my daughter. Being able to provide her with, you know, good school, good college, just a good life, and taking care of my family. That's really why I do what I do. When I'm not working on clients, how do I unwind? I get this question asked a lot, and I have to say I'm a workaholic. I don't really have too much of an outlet. I unwind by watching like videos that are educational for my clients. That's pretty much what I do. I try to work out. I try to go to the gym, you know, take walks, meditate when I do have time in the morning. But pretty much that's what my pastime is. What's next for the Stretchboss LLC? Hopefully big things. I don't want to franchise, but I do, you know, want to leave a legacy. I want people to see that it's not just tissue work, it's an experience. We're providing you with all aspects of recovery. I do see us, you know, making a name for ourselves, being a household name. People coming to us and understanding that that's a safe place for them to heal, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, of what they're going through. So I see big things for us because I feel like the way the world right now, a lot of people are mentally struggling with things, emotionally struggling with things, anxiety, stress, and some of the people don't know how to deal with it because they're dealing with it for the first time because of what's happening in the world. So I feel like what I do helps with that aspect because I do get a lot of people who come in and a lot of their physical symptoms could be coming from an emotional standpoint. And what has been the most memorable experience, moment of my career? I think it was graduating PTA school because a lot of people didn't know what I was going through at the time. You know, single mom, no money, because I didn't have unemployment. I could barely pay my cell phone bill at the time. I mean, I did have help. I had a good support system, people who were helping me get through it. But that was like the most memorable because it was just like, I did this. My daughter was sick, she had a pneumonia, she was in the hospital for 3 weeks in the middle of me having finals, and I had to take finals, go to the hospital, come back home, make sure she was good. So I don't think a lot of people knew what I was going through. I went through a really bad breakup, and that hit me hard as well. So I think graduating PTA school was like the most memorable moment because it was like, if I could do this, I could do anything. I hit rock bottom. That was like my rock bottom where I was like, where am I in life? What am I doing? I'm 30 years old. I came back to school. I'm hanging around with these 20-year-olds or 18-year-olds. Like, is this for real? Like, why am I here? And then at the end, when I finished, I was like, okay, I did this. If I could do this, I could do anything. How much does it upset me when people call me a massage therapist? It upsets me that much. It's not upsetting. and I don't want to discredit massage therapists, but a lot of the times when people ask me that question, it's because they're looking for more of like a relaxation type of massage, hand stone, cookie cutter massage, and that's not what I do. That's not what feeds my soul. I'm in the business of fixing and healing people. Obviously, I want you to, feel good when I'm done and be pain-free. But, if you don't have anything hurting and you just want to get rubbed down just to get rubbed down, I'm not doing that. That is not my forte, and that's not what speaks to me. So it doesn't upset me, but I just feel like when they ask it, they're asking for that reason, because they just want a nice rub down, and there's necessarily not anything physically wrong with them. So I feel like when you do it from that point, it kind of discredits what a massage therapy is, or what rehab or recovery is. So, yeah. Can I share a touching client story? Yes, I have many. Recently, I had a client who, she came into her appointment and she was very like high strung. And she's like, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing here. Like, my husband made this appointment, and I had treated her husband maybe 2 or 3 weeks before that. And she was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but he set up the appointment. What is it that you do again? And I said, I work on recovery. Do you have injuries? I do. And she was like, well, I don't know if you can help me, but I'm having issues losing weight. And then all of a sudden she started crying, and then the waterworks came. And then she was like, I'm so sorry. My husband literally just left me 2 hours from coming in to see you. You're like the first human that I'm actually seeing after he left me. So she started crying. I hugged her. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. And then she's like, I don't understand. Like, he left me. He said, basically, it had to do with my weight, and that she was overweight, and that he was not attracted to her anymore, and he couldn't do it anymore, and he left her. And she's not a big woman, she wasn't like obesely overweight. So she proceeds to tell me, what is it that I can do for her? Obviously, she had a lot of stress. And I looked at her, I was like, you look like you might have some lymphatic issues. And, the one thing you want to do with clients is always ask them questions. They're going to tell you what's wrong with them, whether it be through a story or whatever it is that they're talking to you about at the time. So she told me she's always had an issue losing weight. It has not been easy for her. And then recently, when her husband stressed that he did not like her physical appearance, she was doing the Peloton every day. She was on a juicing diet, and she could not lose 1 pound. And I asked her, it seems like this is something that's been going on for a long time. Have you ever checked your cortisone levels? Have you ever had someone check your hormones? And she said no. And I said, I urge you to see someone and see if they can check your hormone levels. It sounds like your cortisone levels are pretty high, and maybe that's why you're not losing weight, because you are on 10 all the time, and your body doesn't know the difference between physical or an emotional stress. If you're stressed, it's stressed, and it's gonna hold on to fat or water, and it's not gonna allow you to lose weight. So she was like, oh, no one's ever said that to me before. Okay, I think I'll do that. So we did lymphatic. I checked on her the next day. She had lost like 1 or 2 pounds, which is normal. It's usually like water weight. Fast forward to 4 months later, she schedules an appointment to come in, and I don't even recognize her coming through the door. I'm like, who's this person? And she says, I want to thank you. Her husband ended up leaving her for good, but she was like, I wanted to thank you because you were the first person that actually told me to go check my cortisone levels, and I went, and they were through the roof, and the doctor said they were extremely high. She's now receiving infusions, but since then she's lost 15 pounds. And so that was what she needed to get her going. So that's one of the many success stories that I have.